Welcome to HyperScale Video Workshop. My name is Brett Green. Before we get underway, a little housekeeping. I've noticed that there have been some comments on the videos that the lighting has been a bit too directional, that I've got light coming in from one side and there are too many shadows on the other side. And that's probably because most of my light and my air comes through a great big sliding door that I have to my left, and it's going to probably skew the lighting situation a bit. So what I've done is I've bought a video light, and I've got that on top of the camera right now, and hopefully that'll fill some of the shadow areas that you've been noticing in previous videos. It might even let us see the plastic a bit better than we've been seeing before as well. But speaking of plastic, today I received on the doorstep from Hannants the brand new Airfix 1/48 scale Chipmunk T.10. Now, this is an aeroplane that's quite dear to my heart. Some years ago, Rod Bleavers gave me a lift in the back seat of his Chipmunk to an air show at Watts Bridge, and it was fantastic. We were actually flying in formation with two other Chipmunks as well, and it was wonderful to be able to look out the window and see these other two Chipmunks flying along wingtip to wingtip. Well, it wasn't all that close, but you know, close enough, flying in formation into Watts Bridge. When we arrived at the air show, we were actually parked next to a P-51D Mustang on the flight line as well. And when we were leaving that afternoon, the Mustang was the aircraft that left before us, so we had a front row seat to the taxiing and the takeoff of that Mustang. Great memories, fantastic stuff. Thanks, Rod. But let's have a look now at the Airfix kit. This is a brand new kit in 48 scale. Who would have thought in 2021 that we were going to get a brand new tool Chipmunk kit? Fantastic. So let's see what they've done. We have inside the box the typical plastic bag with all of the sprues packed in. I should emphasize again, this is not actually a review. This is really just a first look at the sprues to give you an idea of what my first impressions are, and give you a chance to have a look at them yourself. So I'll be doing a full text and photo review of this later this week or next week. So just get my trusty Alpha knife, and we'll slice open that bag. Pop that down there. And we have three grey sprues. I'll just get the fuselage sprue first. So there are the fuselage halves. The thing with Airfix is that there seem to be two qualities of plastic. Some of them almost have an orange peel effect and have quite wide and soft panel lines. But this one, the texture is very smooth by the look of it, and the panel lines are nice and crisp and thin. There are also some raised details on that fuselage by the look of it. So there's a strip that's raised here, and there are some raised rivets as well on the forward fuselage too. So on the inside of the fuselage halves, there is some detail moulded to represent the cockpit sidewalls. We also have some really nice typical pose Airfix pilots. So I'll have to put some glasses on one of those. It can be me. As well as cowling covers. Looks like a spinner there, and a few other odds and ends. So that's the first sprue. Let's have a look at the wings next. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So the wings are presented conventionally with a full span lower wing and a left and right, I should say port and starboard really, upper wing halves. In photos that I've seen online, the fabric texture on the wings looked pretty exaggerated, but it actually looks pretty good in real life here. I'm not sure what it looks like on the video at the moment, but just looking at it directly, it looks quite realistic. The leading edge of the wings have raised rivets. which are very subtle indeed. You can feel them, so they're sort of braille-y. Yeah, I would definitely give that a tick. I think it looks pretty good. And the third and final sprue, there are not a lot of parts in this kit. It's going to be quite a simple, fast build by the look of it. Contains quite a bit of detail. We've got instrument panel, undercarriage, we've got engine mounts, not sure what that is, maybe something to do with the cockpit or the floor. We've got seats, we have a really nice engine which you can display by the look of it. The engine cowls are separate parts. The main tub, or the floor at least, for the cockpit, main wheels, there's a wing spar, two-bladed prop, the horizontal stabilizers and the rudder. Once again, fairly subtle fabric texture on that, and exhaust there as well. So yes, it won't tax you terribly. I don't think this would be a good beginner aircraft to have a go on. So the last sprue that we have here is the clear one, and once again that's in a separate bag inside the other bag, and we'll just open that one up as well. And here it is. So we have the canopy parts, and the opening canopy sides are separate parts. It looks like there are two different styles that are subtly different. One of them looks like it might have a sliding window on one side, on both sides of the option, that is. And obviously there's the centre section as well. I'm not sure if that's the windscreen. I think that's the rear section that's attached to the centre section, and then the windscreen is a separate part as well. A few lights there too. So that's it for all the plastic parts. By the way, I guess it's fairly inevitable that the blown sections of the side canopy sides is a little distorted. The plastic itself for the canopy parts is a little thicker than we would usually see on something like an Edward or a Tamiya kit, but I'd still, give it a pass. I think it looks fine. So the only two things that we have left in the box now are the decal sheet. So we've got markings for 4 aircraft, plus stencil markings and wing walks. So that's quite nice. They're really nicely produced, nice and glossy. I think Airfix decals have come a long way over the last decade, and these are pretty good. And the very final thing in the box is our typical Airfix instruction booklet. And yeah, that's fine. It's the sort of thing that it's illustrated clearly in lots of steps. At the end of it, we'll have the marking guide, and we can see that we have a nice day glow and silver finish for that first option. The next one is an overall silver paint with yellow markings, identification markings. There's another red and silver one, and on the back, the fourth option is dark earth and dark green, although printed it looks more like dark earth and mid-stone, but I can assure you that this is supposed to be dark earth and dark green. So if you don't like bright camouflage, you've got the option of camouflage, if you don't like bright markings, you've got the option for camouflage in the box. Well, that's it. The brand new Airfix 1/48 scale de Havilland Chipmunk Mark 10. Fantastic aircraft. The first flying experience for so many military pilots and civilian pilots. And a wonderful set of memories in my mind from Watts Bridge all those years ago. Thanks again, Rod. Well, that's it from me, Brett Green, from HyperScale Video Workshop. It's bye for now.